Hi everyone, welcome back. It's Gina and I have ICAD 30, well the rest of 31 to number 36 days of ICAD 2023. Today I am continuing the card that I started last video that I just didn't finish because it was soaked with glue. And honestly I didn't know what to do with it. But really it's truly it's because it was soaked with glue and I didn't have time to dry it. So, not knowing what to do really, I thought if this is a hole, then around it might be kind of dark. So I decided to add black around it and wasn't sure what to do with the inside. But I thought maybe around the edges of the inside could probably be dark, kind of fading into light. So I thought about that. And then while I was doing this, I loved how the black looked over the texture. And then really and truly, I found it was starting to look a bit dark. A little too dark. So I thought, oh, I need to brighten this up. So well, not yet. So I was looking around and I found this little stamp that I made. It's just a wooden cutout. And I just stuck it to a piece of cardboard. So I'm using that as my stamp. Well, it is my stamp. And I'm just stamping around it because I'm going to put a little butterfly in the middle. Why a butterfly? Because I just found it looked cute and I thought it would be nice if it goes in the middle. So this stamping didn't turn out the way I thought it would. I expected to see a nice white solid stamp, but that didn't happen and that's okay. So to help get some definition on some of them, I just thought I would outline one or two of them and leave the rest as is. So far I find this is looking kind of cute. And then, as I said, I found inside was looking a bit dark. So I thought I would lighten it up and then I didn't like it anymore. But I left it as is. So I just put that there to see if I liked it. And I still did. Wasn't sure yet what color I'm going to do the butterfly. I was even thinking of leaving it brown. Well, you know, the natural wooden color. And because inside looks so deep, I thought how cool it would be if I popped it. So I'm just cutting up pieces of cardboard to stick behind the butterfly so I could pop it up off of the card. I'm so excited! So I only remembered then that I needed to get my glue gun. So while that's heating up, I'm going to work on my other cards. Back to what I love, which is collaging. I am going to use my papers that I had made, which obviously isn't finished, and I'm going to collage on my cards today. So I'm just going to stick them down to the table because they kept moving and I was just like, Gina, why didn't you stick it down? Obviously it's going to move. And then I'm going to just collage all over that. And honestly, I missed it. I missed this so much. It was so relaxing. I felt happy. You know, for all of those of you who are watching, even if this isn't your thing, maybe knitting is your thing, or just, I don't know, slow stitching, or I don't know. But I just felt at home doing this, you know. I felt so happy, so relaxed, so calm. It was just fantastic. I wish I had more time to just sit and do art. But anyway, so I'm just going to stick papers down and we'll see how it goes from there. So I'm just using regular glue. I find it works really well. So I actually did some tidying, semi-tidying up on my table. So do you see, do you see the mess? I didn't even realize. I thought it was dried. I thought it was dried. When I flipped it over, I thought it was dried paint. But I managed not to make a complete mess. Thank God. But yeah, that could have been a disaster. Life happens. But yes, well, okay. So sometimes I intentionally do some cleaning up and sometimes it's just spontaneous. Like I might start looking for something and then I end up cleaning. That's usually how it happens. And it happened like that just before I started this video. I think I was looking for something and then I just ended up really spending some time tidying, which actually turned out to be a wonderful, also calming process. You know, I didn't feel frustrated at all. I just put stuff where they're supposed to be. I actually ended up testing my pens because I have a little teacup that got broken. It was a gift, but I love it so much. And I just put tape where it broke so that I won't get cut. Masking tape. And that's what holds my pens. And I decided, you know what, let's make some room. And I tested them. I threw away what wasn't working. I did the same with my markers. I know you don't ever see me using markers, right? But yeah, I did it. And actually, because of that, I am making a mental note that I really want to do some more videos actually using markers. And then somebody put out, I think it's Lauren Bell Art. I think she put out a video recently, very, very recently, about markers. So I was like, yes, you see, the Lord is giving me some tips. He's helping, you know? So yeah. So back to my butterfly. I am finally sticking them together. It's finally hot enough. I'm trying not to burn myself. If you look on my right finger, index finger on top, you'll see a black mark. I actually got burned from this same iron very recently. Like, you wouldn't believe. It got the bubble and everything. It happens so stupid, you know. Sometimes these things happen so stupidly. I couldn't believe it. It was actually making a video. A very recent, anyway. But it's healing now. It's much better. It doesn't hurt anymore. So yay! So I decided to paint Mr. Butterfly black, and I was actually thinking of going in with white dots on top. But I thought, let it dry first and see how it turns out, and then I'll decide for sure. So I'm going to put that, I keep touching it and I have to paint over it again. But I'm going to put that off to the side to dry. What it's resting on is wax paper. I bought a pack recently in a grocery and it's fantastic. So I'm bringing in my stamp. I love the script stamp. It's just so fantastic. I think I need to buy, I think I said this already too, that I need to buy another one. But I'm just putting it all over. At this point, honestly, I'm kind of clueless and I don't know what to do next. So I brought in my script stamp to help tie everything in together. And while I'm still thinking about what to do, I thought, let's see if we could get some stuff happening with this butterfly. And while trying to organize that, I decided that I would put a white border instead of the white dots on the butterfly, and I'm just going to keep it really, really simple. Yeah. So the cardboard that I'm going to use to pop up, I just painted that black. I didn't have to paint the top and bottom, I realized after. But I painted all around it so that no matter what angle you look at it, you know, it's going to look like if it's part of the card instead of like cardboard. It's supposed to help hide it, you know what I mean? If it's dark and it's underneath, you shouldn't really see it too much. Yeah. So off to dry again and back to this. Didn't know what to do. What I did was pull out some paints. I looked at them and the base is yellowish. It's more creamish yellowish. I don't know. So I pulled out my yellow. I pulled out my red because I was thinking I may want to put some nice red areas in. And I pulled out the same turquoise color. And I'm just going to go in. Honestly, at this point, I was pretty scared and I wasn't sure what I was doing. And some of it I kind of liked and some of it I didn't. This turquoise I'm putting in is too much. There's too much turquoise on the surface. So I thought, okay, we need some more yellow in some places. So I tried to put some more yellow in, and I didn't know. And then that was still wet, and I was like, no, I didn't dry it. Yeah, I really didn't know what to do. So after a while, I was like, you know what, let's just put some white. So I dried everything, and I started to add white, and I'm using my finger to blend. But I'm just adding white. And the more white I added, the more white I felt like I needed. And I was like, you know what? Let's just add white everywhere. Because before I was very careful of where I'm putting it. And then after a while, I was like, I don't care, just paint it everywhere. Right, so here I think I'm done. I think I've blocked off enough. And I found this piece of paper that I was actually painting on. But it got a hole in it. I still kept it because I found it looked really cool. And I decided to use it here. I know it's blocking off half of what I did, but I actually really like it still. So now I'm going to separate my cards so I could look at them individually to see what I could do with them individually. And at this point, I decided that I want to use my stencils. So here we go. These are my cards. And immediately I thought I want to do some Islamic writing on this thing that it actually looks like a lip. So I thought, okay, it looks like a huge lip. But I put it away to help me think maybe, I don't know. Oh, this is the little dot of glue that ended up on the wax paper. I decided to paint it and use it in the middle of the butterfly. And wonderfully, I mean, I could not have planned it better myself. It was the perfect fit. Perfect fit. I couldn't have measured that any better. It was, look at that. I love it so much. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. And then I thought, let's do some gold, because these days I just really love gold. Ah! So I'm just adding some touches of gold all over. And when you do that, well, for me, one thing leads to another, and I thought, hey, let me do some inside. And oh, let me put some on the flaps, because everything is related, right? Everything is part of each other, so let's make it look like it's part of each other. And then I thought, let's add some more color as well, because I don't know, I feel like I'm trying to add more gold in the middle, but then it ended up rubbing off the paint. So I'm putting back more paint, and this is when I also thought, let me add some of this color around the card as well. It was really to tie in with that dot in the middle of the butterfly, that bump. So I'm just adding it in, and I'm using a dry brush to just kind of spread it roughly, but it's just to add some of that same color all around to help tie in everything. And I just love that card. I can't put it with the rest because it will just get flat, so I'm going to stick it on my wall. I still am in the process. Actually, I haven't even started, but in the process of creating an inspiration board. So that is definitely going on the board. Most definitely. And because I still have gold, I'm just adding it on the other cards as well, because I just love those colors together. It's just smexy. And then here comes the red. So I was scared, hence the very tiny amounts. Yep, I was really scared to put it. So I was like, let's just do a little and see how that looks. And then eventually I ended up making a mess, and I ended up using a little more, and then I thought, well, we might as well spread it. And that's how I ended up getting a little more on this particular card. And then this one, it had a lot of black in one area and then not much in the others. So I'm just trying to help it balance off just a little bit by adding it in the other areas. And now it is time to do my stenciling. Today I thought I'm going to use spray paint. I'm not in the mood to dab and try not to get it underneath and all of that. So I'm doing stenciling. And I'm using again the grease paper. I'm putting a layer below, and I'm using other paper to just soak up all the excess paint on the stencil. And I can't wait to use it in other projects. I'm so excited, y'all won't believe. Like, I want to scream right now. Okay. So I just pull out my big pieces. I had no intention of using this one like this, but I thought maybe this could be cool. You see how long I paused? And this is sped up, so I actually paused much longer. But I liked it, and then I was thinking maybe I could outline the leaves because you can't really see it too much. But I wasn't sure. So this one I did together. I just love this butterfly. See, it's a good thing I was cleaning up because I found it in a box that I used to do a project outside. And I went and opened the box and I was like, oh, you know how long I didn't see this? Yeah, so I was so happy. It's good to clean up. So I'm using it, of course. Of course, it's really sticky. I almost ripped apart my butterfly, but I took my time and I got it done. Woo! Look at that. Look at that. Oh, I can't wait to use them. I kind of wish it was tracing paper though, because anyway, it's, it blends in better. I found this black one was looking too black, so I just lay over it with white. And I liked how that looked a lot better. So my plan now is what I do is, when I can afford, I buy little bits and pieces every month. So when I get some dinero, I think I want to get a blue spray paint. And I think maybe a green or maybe a red, I don't know. But I know I want blue for sure. See, I'm staring at that because I really still wanted to add the, I was wondering if I should really do the outline, but I don't know. So the word I chose for this card that looks like a lip is C. which makes me think of an eye, but it really, in my mind, it looks like a lip, a big fat lip. But I like C because, you know, it's in the middle, it's in the hole. It makes me think of opening my eyes and really seeing. And it could be also opening your ears to hear, because we, you know, we don't just see with our eyes, we see with what we hear and what we feel as well. At least that's my opinion. So I like this word because it helps me to remember that I really need to see things and see situations and see people. For this one, I used, which one is this one? This one is Precious. Because butterflies are delicate. They go through so much in order to transform and to change, and they are really precious. I mean, really and truly, they're God's creation, so they're just precious. I used regular thread to, in the background of it. For the other side of the butterfly, I'm using the word return. I thought of return. It felt right for me, because I have a list of words on the papers, and usually I would lay out the cards and I would look at the words, and you know, I just get a feeling about them. So return was good because, again, it had to do with the transformation and the process that the butterfly goes through, and it just made me feel like, you know, we return, we as people go through different transformations and processes as well. Oh, on this one, I'm using garlic netting, the thing that, the packaging that my garlic comes in. That's my base, and then I have thread, and then I have the wood. Yes, as I was saying, it just makes me feel like we are returning to our natural state. Even though we didn't start there, it's like this is where we're supposed to be anyway. So in my mind, that's what it translated to. This one, I'm using light. Yes, partially because the flower is white, but also because, you know, it just, and even though there's so much black on the card, it's a flower, and it makes me think of God, and God created flowers, and they've just, you know, they grow in such nice, light, bright places, and it just makes me think of God, and God is light. It makes me feel happy. Okay. And then for this, the one with the leaves that are white, well, it's 2 leaves and a flower. The word I chose was rest. Rest because, again, it's plants. Plants are nature. They came from God. God created them. And, you know, God wanted us to rest. It took him 6 days to create the world and us, and he rested on the 7th day. So he actually designed it for us that we should rest. And sometimes I do forget. People tell me all the time, but I do forget that I do have to, and I should take time to rest. Because that's just, our body needs it, our mind needs it, our spirit needs it, and it's just a reminder that I just need to stop sometimes and enjoy what God has created, which is every single day, and people as well, and animals, and just take time to rest, just chill and, you know, stare at the ceiling. Yeah, so I'm just sticking this wood down. I'm also giving this one a little pop, because why not? I think popping things is so cool. It's nice, and it creates its own shadow. And see, I'm showing you how it pops. And here I thought I was done. Do you realize I didn't even bring in the other one with everything peeled out? But I love these cards. They turned out like I had no clue this is what would result in me collaging today. But this is what happened, and I just love them. I definitely will use them as inspiration for other creations, other projects, and just for me as well. See, I remembered. Yay! I love this one so much. It's just so, have so much character. Look at that. All because of a mistake. Because I heated it too much with the heat gun. So there he is in all his glory, with the pop of glue in the middle. Look at that. I tell you, I could not plan that. I really couldn't have. It's just awesome. So thank you so much for watching, for taking the time out to spend all this time with me and listening to me ramble on. And I really wish you all the best. I want to hear from you. I really do. Your thoughts, your ideas, your suggestions. And I will see you in the next video. Bye!